little sloppy with the penalty flags, a couple things pre-snap on offense, a couple alignment things up front with the offensive line, a little fidgety with some younger players. So some of that is to be expected, but things that we can learn from. I thought when we got into rhythm offensively, we showed some explosiveness that I really believe that's who we are. I mean, we saw Steven Mitchell do his thing. We saw Ronald Jones. We saw Juju. We saw a lot of guys doing their stuff, which was fun. I thought the quarterbacks were just a little off tonight for whatever. Our accuracy wasn't exactly what I would prefer, and I think what they would prefer. I think we can be better than we were tonight, so that's encouraging. I thought defensively we generated some pressure on the quarterback. Obviously, we're able to create some turnovers, which is a positive thing. I'd like our red zone defense to be a little bit better than it was tonight. It's a huge factor in if we're going to be a great team. So as pleased as I was with the offense when we got into the fringe and red zone, I'd like the defense to be better. And especially when the offense really tried to tempo them tonight, I thought the defense struggled with it a little bit. So we need to improve there. But all in all, first scrimmage, we got the tackle. We ran 120 some odd plays. We came out of here healthy, which is positive, and we went to the ground every play, which is important. You have to play football if you want to get good at it, and we were able to do that tonight.
How many scrimmages do you anticipate between now and?
We'll have another one this weekend coming up. Yeah. I believe it's Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Saturday night we'll have another one. And then we'll have some other live periods in between, but the next full scrimmage will be this coming Saturday.
What was Lamar Dawson?
Lamar, he cracked a couple ribs the other day. We didn't know it right away. He didn't know it right away, and he landed on a heel actually. So, it shouldn't be too bad. I think, he's not hurting as bad as you'd think. I'm glad we did the x-rays to see the cracks there. We think he'll heal and be ready to go by the time the season rolls around.
We have to watch the tape to really assess how people did, but did anyone really jump out at you?
I thought Iman Marshall had a good scrimmage. I know we saw the interception there, but I thought he played really sound football and was physical, he tackled well. I think that showed up. I thought Steven Mitchell did some really good things for us. I know he had the one big play called back, but he did some stuff over the middle and different things that was impressive. I thought Porter Gustin came off the edge. It was a presence coming off the edge as well. So just to name a few guys that kind of I noticed more than a couple plays doing some things for us.
You had Taylor McNamara in there a little bit with the ones.
Yeah, we did. Taylor's been coming on here about the last 3 days. We're starting to feel his presence a little bit more. You have to remember with Taylor, he didn't get all summer with our guys. He didn't get to do the player run practices. He didn't get to work out with Ivan. So it's probably taken him a little longer, but we're starting to see the type of player that we were hopeful we were getting, and I think he's going to be a good addition to our football team.
Bowman added to?
Yes, Michael Bowman's added, yes. We needed another arm, Gary. I mean, to only have 3 guys, 3.5 with Connor kind of doing both was difficult, so we wanted to add another arm, and same thing with Wyatt Schmidt. When we were able to add another kicker just to get another leg and to punt and to kick to save those guys. So.
Are you planning to hold Chad Wheeler out of, let's say, the next scrimmage and bring him along slowly? What is your...
Quite honestly, right now I'm following doctor's orders, and the doctor's orders are he can't be involved in live contact settings. I think he's close to being cleared for that. I know he's got his 9-month date from surgery. I believe it's coming in a day or two, and I really think after that date he's going to get a full bill of health and be ready to go in all of our live contact settings.
What did you think of your run game?
I thought it was good. I thought it was a little spotty at times. And when you're rolling a bunch of different backs and you're rolling 3 different offensive lines, sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to find rhythm there, which probably wasn't fair to Trey or Justin or those guys that way. But, what I look for more, Dan, in settings like this is assignments. Are we assignment sound? Are we using proper fundamentals and techniques? And it's not always about the scheme working. And we had a few breakdowns tonight where we turned a couple guys loose, but all in all, I feel like we were covering guys up. Now, we got to find the timing of it all with the back and the line and all those things, and that's a work in progress.
How do you assess the safety spots through the week and a half?
Well, I think Leon has kind of been doing his thing, you know. I mean, the one thing about Leon, sometimes he goes unappreciated because he starts on just about on every special teams. He's starting on defense, and that's a lot of work, you know. That's a lot of running. So I think Leon's had a good camp. I think the move of Chris Hawkins coming over is giving us a little bit more depth. I think getting Plattenberg back healthy has helped us. I think Marvell Tell is just banging on the door to play. I mean, the guy he shows great speed, he shows great aggression, he tackles really well. And Akili Ross is shown that as well. Maybe not as quickly as Marvell, but he's coming quickly. And then Matt Lopes gives us just kind of a dependable guy. You know, he can play either spot. He's kind of like old reliable. So we have a little bit more depth there than maybe we get credit for. There's still work to be done because we are youthful back there, but I thought those guys tackled pretty well tonight. And that's important for us at the safety spot. Some of the biggest things is a running back breaks, a receiver breaks in the open field. You just got to get them on the ground and give us another play. And I thought for the most part that happened tonight.
Steve, what do you think you're getting out of Kenny Bigelow so far?
Well, we're getting great depth. I think Kenny's still getting into football shape. You have to remember he hasn't played for 2 years, quite honestly. So when he's fresh, we're getting a really big physical man who's got explosive movements. He's getting a little fatigued as the game goes on, so that's why our rotation is really critical to what we're doing. But we've got really good depth on our defensive front. I mean, we're rolling 10, 11 guys in there right now, and a lot of them, and we're using a really good substitution pattern. We're going every 4 plays, so we're not trying to wear the guys out. We're just subbing them as best we can and keeping them fresh and allowing them to work through some of their mistakes right now so that when the season rolls around, they're a lot more confident. So Kenny's a prime example of that, whether you're talking Jacob Daniel, whether you're talking Jordan Simmons, some of these guys that we haven't had, now we have them. They're adding great depth to us. They're big physical guys, and they're making their plays, which is encouraging.
The other 3 freshman linebackers, Cam and Osa and John, are they all knocking on the door?
I think so. I think Osa has really stood out to me. I think Cam, if you haven't noticed, is hobbling a little bit out there. He's not 100%, but he's fighting through it. And John is really athletic, and we're starting to slowly see that athleticism show up. You know, sometimes it's hard to really be athletic and fast when you're thinking a lot. And so, as we touched on with some of the offensive players, those first few days, I mean, they're just getting inundated with stuff, right? Defensive installation. There's a bunch of offense at them, and so you're thinking, now we hit practice 11 here, he's starting to play a little faster, and you see that athleticism, and so that's showing up for us.
What do you see from Jonathan Lockett?
A much more confident player. Jonathan's got a very high football IQ. He's playing really confidently. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder. And that's what he was in high school. You know, that's one thing that really stood out to me when he was at Mater Dei was this guy just felt like he played the game. Almost like he was a step ahead of everybody else. Honestly, in a perfect world, we probably should have redshirted him a year ago, but we had to play him because of our number situation. But we're starting to see that player that we saw in high school now, and it's great for us. You know, he's given us really good depth at the corner position, and we're going to need it. Obviously, starting Wednesday, Adoree goes off.